Tina, do you have your cell phone down there? Can you call my mom? She's trying to call me.
She's calling you, Charlie, because she needs to talk about an internet charge.
Like, she keeps calling me. All right, I'm live. Hope you guys didn't hear that. My mom's calling me like 4 times. I'm trying to do this stream. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm trying to do some live Gameboy modding here, but I don't know if my internet connection is going to be good enough up in that room. So I came down here to get this started. We'll see what happens when we walk upstairs. So here's the deal. There's my internet, my Wi-Fi extender. And the room is actually just up here, but I don't know if it's going to work. So if not, I don't know, we'll just hang out for a bit, I guess. I got it all set up upstairs to do. I wanted to work on some Game Boy Color mods today. Wow, 45 people already in climbing, that's cool. Hello everybody, Scott. No joke, I backlit my DMG. Awesome man, good for you. Luke L, Lucal, I don't know. It's not super hard to do the DMGs. All right, I've got a pretty ghetto setup here. I got some rubber bands and a tripod. Hopefully this will work. And hopefully the internet stays good. Okay, I think that might work. Bobby La something. Shout out to Bobby. It's a little hard for me to read these comments, sorry. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna have to move that camera back. Prop this up. Stay. Maybe if I... Let us Europeans see how it's done. Yeah, it's I'm not a pro. I guess I'm slowly getting better at these. Turn my soldering iron on. How else can I do this? Let me think here. There. Use that up. Alright, I think that's gonna work. The only problem is it's gonna be hard for me to see the chat. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Oh, look at that. That's not bad at all. Now, if I could... Hello from Sweden. Hello from Canada. I can't see your names super well, and it's hard to see the comments, but I'm going to see if I can do that on my laptop. I'm using YouTube Live through the cell phone right now, so if you have over 10,000 subscribers, I think that option is enabled. Just give me a sec here, guys. I want to see if I can bring up the chat from this stream on my laptop. Oh, right there. Let's see. Modding Game Boys and body part. I don't know why I said that. I was just looking for some stupid name.
Double A's.
All right. Perfect. Okay, that'll work. The quality is not going to be super good. Super great. Not that good. I don't know. Oh, I get the worst acid reflux. Oh. I'm not supposed to eat dairy, but when I do, it's not a good sign. And not a good scene. Hello from Kentucky. Are you a Kentucky basketball fan, Rusta? From the Ukraine, awesome. I just ordered some of the what is it, Crix EverDrive, the Game Boy and GBA. Cases to hold my Game Boy Advance games. I just get those at garage sales, actually. They were originally meant to hold music tapes, and then I just kind of tore them apart a little bit to fit Game Boy games. Alright, so you're not going to have a super close up here, but I'll kind of show you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Otse? Tell me how to pronounce that, because I know I've seen you here before from Austria. What's up? Hello everybody, welcome everyone. I'm going to be modding some Game Boys and body parts. I don't know what. I'm dumb. Okay. So here's what I've done so far. I've removed the backs from all these guys here. These three work. The screens are good. The speakers are good. I'm gonna do 4 backlights. I get my backlights. I get all my stuff from Handheld Legend. I find it's actually quite affordable. It's not super expensive. So here are the backlight kits. I've got 4 of them. Front lights, sorry. We're doing Game Boy Color, so they're front light mods. Not as drastic of a difference. When you do a DMG, an original Game Boy, it's actually a backlight, so it's lighting it from behind. So it's a drastic difference from the how they look originally, and it's beautiful. The Game Boy Colors look much better. It's front lit, so you can actually play it in the dark, but it's not as drastic of a difference from the original Game Boy because it's a front light. So the process, probably, I would say that it might be the easiest one, but there's the most risk. There's a lot of risk of ruining the Game Boy screen in the process, because you actually take these apart and you take the screen out, and then you use Loca glue. You use this glue, you put it on the screen, and then you apply the front light on top of that. If you get any air bubbles or dust in there, basically it's going to light up like a Christmas tree, and you're probably going to ruin it. You know, mine has a minor little air bubble in it, but if I'm looking to sell them, which I am for these ones, most people aren't going to want to buy it with an air bubble. So if you get an air bubble in it, you've pretty much ruined it. Rust92, that's awesome. I hear that often. I've started collecting this because of you, or I've started garage selling. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so first we're going to take this guy. It's got a dead speaker, so we're going to take it apart, and we are going to use one of these replacements here. I'm going to make sure I have the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. I'm going to put one of these guys on. Pretty simple process. I'm hoping that'll do the trick. Sometimes it's usually just a little speaker there. You just desolder 2 little wires and resolder them to these points. But sometimes it's this headphone module. I have one that went on it, so I can't actually fix it. It's a little bit beyond me. Where do I get the Game Boy systems? Garage sales, thrift stores, pawn shops. I have a local gaming store that if they come in beat up, like I got this one there, it's got no speaker. The speaker's not working, and it was missing the battery cover. So if he doesn't want to take the time to fix it, he'll just sell them to me for what he paid for them. So it's usually like 15 bucks or so. All right, so let me think here. First, we're going to take this off the back. When you take the back plate off, you've got to use the tri-wing screwdriver. But on the inside here, it's actually just a regular screw. So yeah, this won't be that exciting. I tried to do as much of the boring stuff as I could before I started recording here. If I don't catch your question the first time around, feel free to ask it again. Alright, so only three screws in the board. There's two little clips on the ribbon cable there that you just have to lift up and it'll pull off. Relatively easy. Like I said, this is probably the easiest mod. Well, yeah, I'd say it's the easiest mod. In my opinion, the Game Boy Pocket being the hardest because there's a ton of risk of ruining that. The DMG, I'm not going to say the DMG is easy because you need to solder the tiny little bivert chip on. This one's pretty straightforward. In terms of soldering, it's probably the easiest, I should say that. Okay, so there's the board. I'm going to put the screen aside for now. This speaker is disgusting. Oh my god. That's one of the worst ones I've seen. So it's just a matter of... don't mind my soldering technique. I'm by no means an expert at this, so if any of you are, I'm sure you're going to be yelling at me, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, or don't do this, or where is this? This can be a little awkward. So you're just desoldering the two little orange wires from this speaker and that's it. That's garbage. Really gross. Okay. And typically I'll add a tiny little bit of solder to the soldering points on the speaker. There's quite a bit on this one, but make sure you breathe in those smoke fumes. Gets you a nice little buzz. I've got my little window open here. It doesn't produce too much smoke. So it's nothing you really need to worry about all that much. I'm sorry, I wish you guys could see this a little better, but this is the best I can do with one camera. I'm definitely getting better at soldering, more confident. I originally taught myself to solder. I took apart a fat PS3 and just kept on soldering and desoldering points until I got comfortable. Okay, hopefully that's going to work. I don't think I need the screen back on, do I? Can I do this? Just the back. And let's see if it worked. All right, batteries. Right in front of me. So if we hear the little ding, we're good to go. And we're good. I don't know if you guys heard that, but let's do it again. Fixed. Pretty simple. Usually, like I'd say like 95% of the time, that's the issue. You just need to replace a little speaker. I get the speakers, I think they're like 50 cents each from AliExpress, so how do we get a modded GBA or Game Boy? Joel, you just message me on Facebook is the best. Message me on Facebook. I just sold all my DMGs. They're all gone. But all 4 of these will be up for sale when they're done. And then when I'm done these, I will be doing, forgot to take the batteries out. I'll be doing the GBAs, the backlit original GBAs with the AGS 101 screen. Okay, so that's done. I'd like to get all these prepped, so that's what I'll do. I like doing like a series of the DMGs. I'll do 4 to 6 DMGs all at the same time, just so it's fresh in my mind what I need to do and my techniques are like. So basically I can do one and then go, okay, well, now I know what I'm doing here. I can do the next one faster and faster and faster, instead of doing like a DMG, a Game Boy Color mixed in, because then it's a different process. The process is fresh in my mind and I can whip through and do a whole bunch. Like I did, I think 6 DMGs at the same time. And then I got really good at actually installing the bivert chip. The bivert chip is right here, that black chip. You have to lift some pins on this little, on the ribbon cable thing and solder them. Not super hard. They make it as simple as possible, but it's just something that you get better at with techniques. So I went through and did, I think I did 6 or 7 of them. So these are ready to go. There's another one there. I'm going to probably do 2 more backlights this weekend, actually. So I may have another DMG backlight this weekend. Backlit DMG. I just learned on YouTube. I just watched YouTube videos. The guy I watched the most was This Does Not Compute, I believe it was. I think that's his name. I watched his videos mostly. Keith, good luck. Which one did you say you did? Okay, so you're doing, did you say you did the color, Keith? The Game Boy Color, and now you're going to do the DMG? You'll be fine. What can I tell you for tips? Keith, did the one you order have the built-in resistor? Because now they're coming with built-in resistors, so you don't, that's another whole step you could skip, so it should be much easier. First time on the DMG, yeah, you'll be good. It's not that hard. To be honest with you, like, the nice thing about doing DMGs is even if you do screw it up, I'm guessing that you probably didn't pay very much for the DMG. The only thing you could really destroy, like even if you screw up on the bivert chip, you should be able to desolder and save the chip. One time I lifted, make sure you lift the right pins when you're doing the bivert chip. So you have to actually lift the pins that are attached to the ribbon cable connector thing. I guess they're pins, are they pins? I don't know, but you have to lift 2 of them. Make sure you do the right 2. If you lift the wrong one, you could destroy the trace on it. And I actually ruined a board doing that. But, I mean, it sucks, but I was probably out $5 on the Game Boy. I got it super cheap. I got a bunch of sources now that hook me up with cheap Game Boys. Most people just don't want to fix them. Like, you know, you can do it relatively easy, but if they're missing a back and it's like super yellowed and gross, most people don't want to go through the trouble of putting a new case on it and stuff like that. So that's an advantage for me because I can get them relatively cheap. Even if I can get one for around $10 or less, I'm happy. So it's bad. Like, I like to do this like an assembly line. One thing I can tell you is you don't have to be super like ginger with these. Like, they're not gonna break on you unless you do something really stupid. Okay, so what I do, are these all colors in here? No. So DMG. So what I do is I just get little containers. These are from Sour Patch Kids, and I put all the screws. Buttons, typically when you get like a new case, it won't come with the rubber. It'll come with new buttons, but you need to hold on to the rubber. So I just dump everything that I need for these 4 colors here. I'll dump them all into the same thing. Little tub here. And then I'll clean off the rubber and stuff like that. Always clean your rubbers. And always reuse them. That's inappropriate. France in the house. Belgium, Holland. Oh wait. Can't all be from those different same places. Mexico in the house. Baja, California. Very nice. I'd like to be there right now. It is pretty nice out here right now. It's like, well, for us it's nice. It's like dead winter. So there's lots of snow, but it's going to hit 10 degrees today. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing the Game Boy Color mods today. When you apply the Loca glue in between the screen and the front light, it's just like it's Loca glue is liquid clear optical glue. No, liquid clear optical adhesive. You need to put it in the sun to get UV light on it for it to cure. So it actually has to be a sunny day. It can't just be like light out but overcast. I found that out the hard way. It took like 45 minutes for one to dry. It seems to be okay, but you need direct sunlight. So my point is, I've been waiting for a day that I can put these outside and not have stuff freeze. My other point was, I would love to be in California right now. I'd love to be in California. No, I shouldn't say that. Not forever. Canada's a pretty amazing country. I'd rather be here than California. Okay. Yeah, you can use a UV light too. Yeah, that might be something down the road that I get if I start doing these more. So I sell these. I had to come up with pricing yesterday. I sell the DMGs for $100 US, shipped within North America, which I think is pretty fair. I think that's, I would never charge any more than that. But the problem is shipping from Canada can be like around 20 bucks. So $100 US for the DMGs. That's with the backlight mod, bivert chip, new case, new screens. So I think I decided on 120 for the Game Boy Colors. Just because they're more expensive to buy, the parts are a little bit more, and there's a risk. Like, there's a definite risk of ruining these. I mean, ruining to the point where someone's not going to want to buy it because you can see a little bubble in the screen. It's not, it's like very tiny little mark, but when it lights up you can see it and it would be super annoying. Oh, Rybo, I didn't even see you in here. Thank you. Looks like somebody got the band. Or a timeout, maybe. Hello, Riboflavins. Any tips for first DMG backlight mod? I mentioned earlier, when you do, if I don't know if you're doing the bivert chip, but you got to be really, make sure you lift the right pin when you're installing the bivert chip. I would recommend getting the biverts from Handheld Legend. Look at, like, they're super tiny and super easy. This is like version 3. I've seen some pretty crazy bivert chips out there. We have to do a lot of like soldering little wires. This is really, really easy. I need to do a video on it. That's the next one I'll be doing on the DMGs. No real tips. It's pretty straightforward. Sometimes the polarizing film can be a little annoying. You might get a little bubble under those. I struggle with those actually sometimes. That can be annoying. Screws. Okay, so those are case screws. Those are going to come with the new ones. Okay, so these are the screws from the boards. I'm going to put those in my little cup. Okay. Alright, and the next step here is to remove the screens from the case. It should be pretty straightforward. I have to just remember what I'm doing here. Let me get a little spudger. Just something to pry the screen apart. It's just held on there with a little bit of glue. You can actually just like gently twist the board a little, and it's just loosening the glue. It sounds horrible, but you're not going to wreck anything. it'll just pop the glue off. Don't pull by the ribbon cable, I wouldn't do that. It's pretty much common sense. Like, don't force anything. I think that's the best method if you just twist the board, twist the case a little bit, I should say. It's been a while since I've done these, so my technique is not great. Okay, so there it is. Screen is removed. I put it like this, with the screen facing up. Try not to touch it. If you can avoid getting any dust or fingerprints on it, it's gonna save you a lot of time in the future. Fuku 94. Welcome from Japan. Awesome. Japan's like #1 on my list of places to visit. This hat is from gamerhats.com. They're made by a guy named The Throwback Gamer on Instagram. Go check him out. Gamerhats.com. Easily the nicest hat I've ever owned. Really nice material, big enough to fit my head. Really premium quality. I can't recommend these enough. And definitely affordable. They're not super cheap, but it's a custom made product. So they've got Super Nintendo and they've got the same as this, but with the Famicom buttons. Did I hear about the Game Boy Color backlight? No, I don't see how they would, well, depends on what you mean. There's no way you can backlight a Game Boy Color screen. That's impossible. But I've seen guys on Instagram who put like GBA, they mod it and put a GBA inside the Game Boy Color. That's possible. That's amazing. That's beyond me. I'll never be doing those. That Hi. I think it's Hi SB or something like that. Oh yeah, the GB Boy. Yeah, that's like a Chinese knockoff Game Boy. I have seen that. It's got like a really weird aspect ratio, but I've heard it's pretty decent. Yeah, I've seen those. I really wish you could buy one of those and just put it in here, but it won't work. I've watched a bunch of videos on those. So you can see I've kind of got this like an assembly line. And because I've just done them, now I've got the technique down. It sounds horrible when you do that, but it's just popping the glue. You really can't, you can't mess it up by, you're just giving it a little twist to pop the glue loose from the screen. To be completely honest, aside from the Game Boy Pocket, you don't have to be like super careful with these. There's not a lot of ways you can mess it up. It's not something you need to be super gentle with. The Game Boy Pockets are much like the DMG for modding, but there's a ribbon cable that runs in the back of the screen of the Game Boy Pockets, and it's almost impossible to get under. You need to peel the film away from the back of the screen so you can put the backlight in and it will shine through. But the ribbon cable runs across the back of the screen. You have to try and peel it without disturbing the ribbon cable, because the ribbon cable is kind of brittle because it's old. I destroyed one. I destroyed a Game Boy Pocket, which I was not happy about. To the point where like I don't think I ever want to do a Game Boy Pocket ever again. It was not fun. Okay. Screens are out. Like I said, do your best to keep those as clean as possible. And don't let them sit because dust will collect on them. Now we can get rid of these. I've got a huge bin full of like old shells. The screens are all really horrible on them. I'm not going to pop it out, but yeah, they're all scratched up. I mean, these totally could be reused, so I'll put them somewhere. Maybe someday I will reuse them. All right, we're ready. We're already ready to move into the Loca, to the gluing. I didn't think we'd get to this point, but things move pretty quickly with these. I gotta show you guys this. I want to show you guys some of the colors I'm gonna do. I not have any? Huh. I just realized where are all my Game Boy Color cases? I don't know if I have enough color cases to do all these mods. I'm gonna use this clear one, and this blue one is actually glow in the dark. It looks amazing. I thought I had more, but I might have to order more, or I might have to use the cases from the ones that I just took apart. Maybe find some good ones. Might have to put some back in the original cases. I thought I had more Game Boy Color cases. I'll have to order more. That was really stupid of me. I don't know, maybe I'll only make 2. I can at least do the gluing of the screens and they'll be done. There's no way there can be backlit screens. You can't backlight, it's impossible. You can't backlight this screen. There's no way you could do that. I don't see how that can't be possible. Unless you're installing a new screen in there. Which in that case it's going to be you're not going to find a square screen. They don't make them. In that case it's going to be a GBA, it's going to be a screen from a GBA or something like that. Because they do not make backlit square screens. Maybe I don't know what else that would be, but you'd have to heavily mod it. Just Crow, welcome. Check out, he bought a Game Boy Color backlight. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. It would have to be the whole screen. Yeah, it'd be the whole screen, and I would be shocked if it was the same aspect ratio. And I'd be also shocked if you didn't have to do, like, I doubt you could just hook it up to the board. You'd have to mod it heavily, I would think. Chronic, thank you. Yeah, you guys have to settle for your car boot sales. So it's kind of similar, I guess. I know it's not even on the scale of our garage sales, but... What does modded do from an original? Depends what you're talking about. Game Boy Color, it's a front light, so you're just lighting it from the front, so it looks much better. You can play in the dark, it looks good, but the DMG, the original brick Game Boy, these guys, you're actually lighting the screen from behind, and then I install a little bivert chip, which greatly increases the contrast. I get the worst acid reflux right now. And those look amazing. They look really, really good. Game Boy Colors look good, but the DMGs look awesome. How can I afford all the stuff I get? You gotta watch my garage sales videos. Russ, hey Russ. It's all from garage sales. Everything in my collection is completely free. Best Game Boy to use. If I were you and you wanted to just start with a mod, mod an original Game Boy. Get a backlight module thing from Handheld Legend and a bivert chip. And then watch videos. This does not compute, has a great video on it. Micah Edwards, what's up? Tafe? I don't know, sorry if I butchered that. Hello, thank you very much. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hello. Yeah, Keith, you'll love it. I've played more Game Boy games in the last 3 months than I have in my entire life. It totally revitalizes the Game Boys. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab my Game Boys so I can show you guys on camera what they look like when they're done. And I just need one more thing before I start this gluing. Okay, sorry guys. Just needed my compressed air. Paper towel. This is the technique I like to use. And this is what this does not compute. Does. Okay, so here's what the Game Boy Color will look like. It's not going to come across great on the screen there. I'm out of shape. But that's what it looks like. Try and get a good viewing angle there. Focus. It looks better in person. That's what it'll look like once it's been front lit. Now wait till you see this. That is a drastic difference. These look amazing. They look really, really good. This is my personal one. I call this the Stormtrooper. That's actually, I think they call that a white backlight. Comes out a little bit blue, but this is my favorite. I like things simple colors. Kind of reminds me of like an Apple product, so that's what they look like. God, I'm so out of breath. I was filming a YouTube video today too, and I kept getting out of breath. 2:30 a.m. in Australia. Get to bed. Robbie, it really doesn't affect battery life. I just mentioned, I did a stream on Instagram this morning. I've had the same batteries in here since I modded this, and I've put 8 hours of gaming on this easily. So it really doesn't affect battery life at all. It's like LED, so it very, very minimal battery life. I haven't noticed anything. Same thing with the color. I haven't noticed any like degradation in battery life. I think this does not compute, or this will not compute. I always screw his name up. I think he did a video comparing battery life too, with and without the backlights or front light mods. $3:31 a.m. Sketchy, I'm just chubby, man. I'm just out of shape. I just had a bunch of I had bacon and waffles this morning, so awesome mods. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, there is. It is possible to make it run off of a lithium ion battery. Far beyond me. Go follow. I think it's Hi SB. HAI SB. I think it's SB. But he's got a YouTube channel and he's on Instagram. He is like the king of these mods. He's doing stuff that I would never be able to do. Retrocade. The weather's nice here. It's gonna be 10 degrees. That's Celsius. You Americans can do the conversion on your own. Screw you guys. 10 degrees here today. Sun's out. That's the reason why I'm doing these mods, because after I apply this glue, I've got to go literally put them outside in the sun. So I always get a little nervous. I actually have to right now familiarize myself with this will not compute, or this does not compute. I gotta go watch this video quick, because I gotta remember which way to install the front lights. So these are the front light kits. These are from handheldlegend.com. I'm always pretty careful when I fold these down out of the way. Basically, there's a strip of LED lights at the bottom there behind that reflective tape. And then the two wires are used to power it. Ted, you better be careful. That's quite the viewing angle here.
Well, I didn't know your thing is.
Okay, well, put some clothes on. Teddy, I'm streaming. Can you not yell? That was close. My wife almost got a peep show. All right, so let me quickly. I heard about the game smartwatch on Kickstarter through what's his name, Pat the NES Punk, his podcast. Yeah, kids were yelling. My wife just got out of the shower. So, third-party emulation-based Game Boys. No, I haven't tried them. Ted is the best. Ted's pretty funny. He mentioned like a couple days ago something about getting his nails painted. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I didn't know anything about this. He came home from school on Friday with his nails painted, all blue and purple. Apparently they have like this learning center in his class. It's like role playing, and like sometimes it's a McDonald's, sometimes it's a gas station. It was a beauty salon this week. So one of the moms came in and they sent home a form to see if it was okay if the kids got their nails painted. So Teddy came home with purple and blue fingernails. Pretty funny. Old school NYC gamer, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. I'm just modding some Game Boys here. Have you ever done any old school NYC gamer? Have you ever done any of the DMG mods or anything like that? Yeah, I saw Retro Bits coming out. So here's the thing with that. I think that Retro Bit should have just made a Game Boy Color and original Game Boy. I think they should have skipped GBA, because they're going to release that thing. It's going to have a GBA screen in it, and unless they do a button where you can switch the aspect ratio, you're going to be playing your Game Boy and Game Boy games in a stretched widescreen, and I don't want anything to do with it. So I think they should have made a just a Game Boy and Game Boy Color one. But then again, back to what I said, you can't find screens like this. I guess that's probably not even possible. You can't find square LCD screens. They just really don't exist in the aspect ratio of the Game Boy Color. So what are my thoughts on Retro Liberty? I gotta watch what I say. I liked Retro Liberty's channel. I have an idea of what happened. I don't want to speculate, so I'm not going to say anything. I think he deleted his existence from social media so he wouldn't have to face people or answer questions about what happened. I think that's probably all I should say. I heard something about what happened, but I can't go around saying it if I don't know it's true. Riboflavins, thanks for posting the link. There's a link to gamerhats.com. My favorite game up till now, if I could only pick one, is Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1. My entire collection was completely free, all made through garage selling. Every game I own has been picked up, not every game, but through buying stuff at garage selling and flipping off the stuff that I don't need, selling the doubles. I've been able to pick up, I have everything. Everything is free by this point. The Trimix, what's up? If you ask people to sub to you, you're probably gonna get blocked or banned, just so you know. Riboflavins doesn't play that. My mods are very strict. Not really, they're not super strict, but. My main cab actually needs to be fixed, so. I need to work on my main cab. Okay, I'm gonna quickly look up this does not compute, or this will not compute. I'm going to tell you right now and stop butchering his name. Riboflavins, could you post a link to his channel? Actually, I can do that. I gotta stop being lazy. This does not compute. I'm going to post a link to This Does Not Compute's channel right now. His tutorial videos are far better than mine, and his channel's really good, so definitely recommend checking him out. His channel's growing rapidly. He'll pass me in subs very soon, I'm sure. Yeah, that's my Commodore monitor. It's just kind of sitting there. I haven't been doing much with it. I was playing retro games on it for a little while, but I haven't been, so. Nicholas, welcome. Just me, Dave. What's going on? I do not sell on eBay, B-Doll. I just sell stuff locally. I try not to be a douche and sell stuff for crazy amounts of money. I'm getting it cheap at garage sales. I just like to get rid of it quickly. Yeah, so I sell it locally, and usually it moves pretty quick. Or I sell it at swap meets. Cornelia, welcome. Great name. Chronic, the garage sales, so what is it? It's almost the end of February, so end of April. 2 more months. I am 35? I'm 35. No, am I 36? I don't know. I'm 35 or 36. I was born in 81. Once you get past like 25, it just doesn't matter anymore. I don't really care how old I am anymore. Joshua Hammer, what's up? Good question, KMD baby. Right now I'm just kind of focusing on the gray cards. I don't know why. If I can find the black ones cheap or Game Boy Color stuff like for like $2 a piece, I'll buy them. If I can get them for $2 a piece, I'll buy them. You're 41, old school NYC gamer. I wouldn't have guessed that. That's right. I hate to say it, but men tend to a lot of times get better looking with age. I don't know at what point. Men tend to like peak, I think, in probably sometime in their 30s in terms of looks, I think, and then probably at some point it would probably go on the downward slope. I shouldn't say that. And I should watch what I'm saying. Women are always beautiful. They never go down. They're always pretty. You gotta be careful here. I am 35, I think. I might be 36. These hats are amazing. I love them. I've got a massive head, so I will mention that these hats are quite large. I want to say they're super deep. I have a problem with hats fitting on my head because they're not deep enough, but you can see it even looks like it's a good size. It's what you would call, I don't know, like it's kind of like more like a hip hop fit. I don't know. It's a little goofy looking on me right now. I gotta fix the curve a little bit. They're super high quality. I highly recommend them. Christopher Dixon, thank you very much. Welcome. Okay, let's get to this. This does not compute. I gotta quickly refresh with the Game Boy Color mod here. And yeah, see, he's got a video on that GB Boy Color review of the Game Boy Color from China, AliExpress, you can get them. He's got a video on backlight modded Game Boy Advance battery life, so he tests the battery life, the difference, and from what I remember, I think it was better with the backlight because he put a 101 in there. The screen from a 101 and a SP 101, I think it was a newer screen than the other ones, so it actually was more efficient or something like that. Okay, let's see. Game Boy Pocket Bivert, front light Loca. Oh, I just need to search Game Boy Color. Front light mod. This does not compute. That's his name. Okay. Front light Loca. GB front light. Install a front light kit. Does Loca make a difference? I think that's the video. I just want to make sure I'm doing everything right here. So this would be the front. I believe it's going, I think the red wire goes to the left, so I think it's going like that.
All that happy with the results, I found the picture quality to be kind of feasible if you do it this way. Starting for that front light to pass through. But here's where things get a little bit different. We're going to need an extra supply, and it's called Loca. And if it had flush fit, fingerprints, that LCD prints.
Just want to make sure I have the orientation right.
Because that can also help force any air out the sides. Again, you really don't want bubbles in here because they're very light panel over. Submit it on a paper. And reposition that a little bit to get them worked out. If worse comes to
okay, so red wire to the left. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this. I I already have one container of the Loca glue. Hope it hasn't solidified. Or that'll be the end of this video. Okay, there's a bubble in this one. I'm trying to remember which one I used. Guess it doesn't really matter. This might have solidified though. One might be solid in there. Okay, that's the one that's not been used. So I guess we'll try this guy first. I need my pliers. And it doesn't look like I have my pliers up here. So we're gonna use, let's get this off. I'm gonna use teeth. Oh shit. That was stupid. I just wasted a bunch of it. Still works though, so that's good. Okay. I wonder if I should just do this again like a production line and get them ready. And just get them all out. God. Okay. So I'm basically just going to get these all ready, and I'm going to do 3 in sequence here. Or 4, sorry. Get them all set up. Then we need to remove the reflective tape material. I get nervous. It's so annoying. Alright, let's flatten that out. I'm just going to try and do all 4 of them in a row. Okay, so red wire to the right. Red wire to the right. So we need to remove the film, trying our best not to touch it. Then we need to remove this reflective tape. What's the best route here? Probably lift it with a blade and then peel off carefully. Good to have nails when you're doing this stuff. Holy cow, come on, buddy. Okay, got it. So carefully peeling off this reflective tape, trying not to pull the LED strip out. That one comes off completely. Alright, so what I'm going to do is get all of these ready. I really could use my pliers right now. Oh, come on. I don't remember this being that hard. Okay, 2 down, take a little break. I'm sorry guys, this isn't that exciting right now. Silver tongue, hello? Looks like we're getting some bad connection warnings. I think we're still streaming okay. So for the Nintendo Switch, I'm buying Zelda. I am buying Zelda 1-2 Switch and Super Bomberman R. I would not recommend Super Bomberman R and 1-2 Switch at those prices, but I'm gonna buy them. I think Super Bomberman R is a ripoff for what they're charging. I think it's basically a $15 downloadable game. That is, I think, like $65 here in Canada. Same thing for 1-2 Switch. 1-2 Switch, in my opinion, should be a pack-in. But it's a pretty weak launch, so. Oh shoot. That didn't come off clean. Go to the other side. I don't remember this being so annoying last time. Oh, come on. There. That's close. You don't want to pull too much of the glue off. I'm trying my best not to. Yeah, there's a new Bomberman coming out called Bomberman R, Super Bomberman R, I think it is, for the Nintendo Switch. It's like an isometric, like 3D Bomberman type game. And literally, it's the kind of game that would be a probably like $14.99 download on PSN. And they're charging pretty much full price. I mean, great, smart idea by, is it Namco or Konami? I don't know why more companies didn't get games out at the Switch launch, because it's going to probably sell 1 million copies. Because there's nothing else out for the system, so. Alright guys, I'm just going to plow through this. I'm going to do all 4, get the Loca glue applied, and get them downstairs. I don't see any dust on the screens. The problem is it's hard to see on these. So want to say you want to hope for the best, but that one almost looks like it's got a scratch, which would not be good. Oh, there's no turning back now. This one looks like it's got a bit of a scratch in it. I'm hoping that's not going to show up. Okay, here we go. Use tape to remove dust. Yeah, that's a good technique. We're dust free here. I mean, it's hard because you can't always see on these front lights because it's not super clear. It's like a little foggy almost, which is a little bit weird. I guess that's just the way that it dissipates the light going through it. All right, we are ready. I guess I'll just apply the Loca on all four. I'm nervous. Oh well, let's do it. No. Okay, we're back. Lost you guys there for a sec. So you want to apply the Loca in like a X type pattern. Just to eliminate as many bubbles as possible. Hopefully you can do it without getting any bubbles. Trying to remember how much I need. I hope I didn't leave any short. I think that's good. Oh, here we go. All right. Moment of truth. See, these ribbon cables unfortunately make the glue run down a little bit. Let's start with this guy. And then you just kind of want to hinge the front light on. And then let gravity do most of the work. These guys are running too much. Shit. All right, probably shouldn't have done 4 at the same time. I'm going to add a little bit more to these two. Oh man, that's bad. There's a bunch of bubbles in this one. Oh. Okay, that bubble's gone. Good. As long as the surface of the screen is covered with the glue, then you're fine. So you can just kind of like wiggle and rotate it and apply a little bit of pressure till it gets the actual screen covered. Okay, those two are good. This one is sliding. Okay, oh geez, come on. This one's got the bubbles. So you can actually do like a circular motion and it'll actually kind of force the bubbles to the edge. It's not super complicated to get the bubbles out, most of the time at least. Let's focus on this one and then we'll go back to the one with the bubbles in it. Okay, so I did okay with the amount of Loca glue. I probably could have put a little bit more on the first couple just to be safe. Got one air bubble left and it's gone. Alright, pretty good at getting rid of the air bubbles. Okay, I think we're in good shape. I don't see any real issues on any of these, so. Okay guys, is this even safe? Yes, it's safe, don't worry. So I'm gonna run these downstairs quick and then I'll bring the camera down with me in 1 minute here. I'm gonna go get these in the sun. Be right back. Sorry guys. There's still people there. Okay, so I'll show you what I was doing down there. I had to quickly get them outside. They firm up super quick, or at least they did this time. There's the boys. What are you guys doing?
I built this.
Nice.
I built it.
So, I hope these turned out. I'm pretty confident. I didn't see any major air bubbles or any air bubbles. So here they are. So what I had to do was come down here, pull the top film off. They set super quick. You want to remove this reflective tape so the sun can dry the glue under here, or you could end up with this thing called spidering, and the glue looks really messed up and it can screw the screen up. So when I took these off though, it pulled off most of the glue that holds the LED strip in. So I'll have to be super careful when I put that back. You can see here's all four. By now they're already like, you can't move. The screens are on, like they're not coming off. I think you can pry Loca apart, I think, but it'd be tough to do. So as you can see, it's pretty sunny out here. I'll leave them out here for another 20 minutes and let these fully cure. But they look pretty darn good. Like, you won't be able to see it on camera, I guess, but I don't see any air bubbles. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully they turned out the way that they're supposed to. I am gonna look. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm gonna look for more Game Boy. I'm gonna close this because you guys are loud. Whose cup is this down here?
What?
What is this?
Mommy.
Where was that?
She came down here and then
That's not it. What are you doing, Rudy? Smooth, Rudy. That's awesome, man. Thanks for ruining the stairs, buddy. Rudy's trying to come downstairs and look for food, and then I busted him. That's why he tried to run quick. Alright, so here's a quick view of the game room while we're waiting for those to dry. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the mods on camera. I know what I was going to do. I could have sworn I had more Game Boy Color shells. I thought I ordered more of those. I have to have more of those. Where are those? Game Boy Color shells. This is my parts department. It's kind of a mess. Game Boy Color shells. I don't know where I would have put those, but I thought I had way more. I apparently only have 2 left. And I don't know if I've actually even ordered any, so that's going to be a problem. I can always put them back in the original colored shells. Huh, that's weird. Clear. Yeah, I thought I had more Game Boy Color shells, I should say. Anyways, guys, I better let you guys go here. I'm not going to be able to finish these mods off today anyways, but stay tuned. They'll be up on Instagram when I'm done. If you guys are interested in purchasing one, just message me on Facebook or Instagram. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Today is Saturday. Later on today, though, what am I doing tonight? Tonight, I will be live on Twitch. If not tonight, I'll be on tomorrow during the day. You can... oh my god. Jesus, Russians. Holy cow. Okay, I'll be on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/SeeJayAre. Either tonight or tomorrow. So, anyways, later guys.